This episode of Power Women of the Trades is also brought to you by Forrest Perry of Forrest Perry Digital Marketing. Want to generate more leads for your service business? Trust his team to deliver quality new customer leads and protect your brand online. Check out perrymarketing.com today.
Hello everyone. We want to give a quick shout out to our amazing partner, Rilla, the game changer in the home service industry. Rilla's virtual ride-along software means no more physical ride-alongs. With Rilla, you can coach your team virtually 100 times faster and boost your close sale rates like never before. Don't miss out. Join the movement today and watch your sales soar. Visit rilla.com/PWT to learn more.
Most businesses' online presence is boring. And by being boring, they're losing out on potential sales and customers. Being interesting and exciting is what draws customers in and gets them to buy from you. But it's hard to be interesting online when you're focused on running your business and taking care of your customers. It doesn't have to be this way. We have the key to unlocking the solution to your problem. Key Heart Marketing can help take your business from boring to brilliant on social media. We can vouch for them. They run our podcast socials. If you want to have a strong social media presence that allows customers to know, like, and trust you, connect with Key Heart Marketing at keyheartmarketing.com. Welcome to Power Women of the Trades podcast. This show is all about breaking barriers and changing the game. Our guests will feature some of today's most successful female entrepreneurs and other advocates of our industry as well. Because if there's one thing we know for sure, female-led entrepreneurship drives change on multiple levels. We want to empower women in the trade industry like you so you can maximize your potential, stay balanced, achieve long-term success, and claim ownership over your life. Let's get started.
Welcome back to Power Women of the Trades podcast with Cassie and Heather. Today we are with Ashley Tanner from Iron Mountain Plumbing, Heating, and Air in Cedar City, Utah.
Yep.
Cool. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Ashley. Awesome. Thanks.
Awesome. We've been following you, or I've been following you for years on social media, and I think Heather was saying yes, she had as well.
Yeah, same.
And I'm excited to catch up with you. So, Ashley, tell us how you got into the trades.
I married a plumber.
That's the story of the stories, right?
Yeah. So I married a plumber when he was an apprentice, and I put him through school. And then we just kind of, did the new construction thing for a while, and then decided that we wanted to be our own business owners. And we decided to start our business when we had 4 little kids.
That's, no big deal. 4 little kids and a new thing. So how long have you guys been in business?
We've been in business 7 years.
7 years. How has that gone?
Owning a business is the most stressful thing I've ever done in my whole entire life.
Mm-hmm.
True story.
Yeah, 100%. It's so funny because it's like I try to be like encouraging, and then I try to like, I don't know. It's hard. I think some days it depends on like the day you catch us, right? Like what you're going to get. Like it's the most rewarding and also the worst thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah. I think everyone thinks it's like sunshine and rainbows and it's going to be this glorious thing. But people don't see the, staying in the office till 1 o'clock in the morning, or sacrificing the time with your kids, or the stress that just is behind the scenes that you don't know until you're in there.
Right. I was talking to someone the other day, and she's like, this is the 3rd trip. She was canceling a trip of vacation with her kids for this summer because they just had too much going on within their business. And she said, this is the 3rd trip this summer that I've canceled. And I'm going to have to do something before school goes back. But what is the point here? And I'm like, okay, well, first of all, let's talk about this for a second. Like at some point you're going to have to go, but like that's raw. That's real. That's, Oscar and I have been in business for 11 years. And this past, a couple weeks ago was the first vacation that we've ever taken in the summertime that we were actually able to totally disconnect. And we still checked in like daily for the most part, because I think how it's like, how do you not check in? I guess we don't know how to not check in, but our team we were really super thankful for our team that was able to do everything, but it was hard, and this is 11 years in. It's like, it's hard. How many times have you been at the airport, you're doing something, right? And so there's a lot that's the unseen.
Yeah, like I was on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean. I paid for Wi-Fi so I could like be able to text my office staff, and I'm sitting there like dealing with stuff in the middle of the ocean, like trying to hide from my children so they don't realize what I'm doing, like, and my husband, because I couldn't completely disconnect. And I knew it would be okay. Like I had to get my husband disconnected, but I was like sitting there helping my CSRs and my office staff. Well, like I was sitting there in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah. It's like we are built as the lifelines, but it's really rough for sure sometimes. And I think that that's like the biggest misconception is everyone thinks that like entrepreneurship is you now own your time. You do own your time, right? But like the time is more.
Yeah.
Definitely more.
Yeah.
Definitely
well,
more.
I think you end up putting in more hours because of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and you're more involved, like you do community events and you're doing stuff that people don't realize takes hours to kind of get ready for. And then like you're drained afterwards, like you have to go take a nap, but you're always on. You're never not on, no matter where you are. If you're at Walmart or if you're like even at church or somewhere, like you're on.
You're always on.
all the time.
Yeah. Heather, she works for us at Quality, but she lives in Oregon. So when she comes into town, sometimes I'm like, Heather, we'll go to dinner like one time this week, but I can't hang out every night this week. And she's fine with that, right? Like we're good. And she goes and does her things because it's like, and it's the same for her. Cause when she's here, it's like a fire hose. Everyone's trying to talk to her and doing a million things because she's not here all the time. Yeah. And so she, at the same way, needs to go and just like take a breather. But, it's a lot.
I just keep out in my hotel room and I just kind of decompress for the day because it really is. I mean, it's crazy coming in and it is like a fire hose because everybody wants my attention and I've got to meet with everybody and I'm only there for a short period of time and I lose a day of travel just flying into Oklahoma and it gets nuts. So Cassie's like, we'll go to dinner and I'm like, if we don't, it's fine.
Right.
I'm tired.
Right. Totally. And so I get it. Like, again, I know it's so funny how these conversations happen. And this is not a conversation that's new to the podcast. We talk about these things all the time.
Yeah.
Because it's funny how the episode can be like, basically like we're recording this. I don't know when this will go through, but we're recording this on July 9th. So, we're emotionally and mentally unstable.
Yeah. Well, we just started HVAC. So like we've only been doing HVAC 2 months.
How is that?
Oh boy. Brand new.
We are brand new. So our cooling season is not our big season.
Okay.
Like our heating season is our big season because we live at we're at 6,000 feet elevation.
Okay.
So our market is split into two. Where I live, it is very heavy for cooling or for heating, but then St. George is very cooling heavy.
Oh, okay.
So we're kind of just getting going. It's just baptism by fire. Like you just gotta suck it up, deal with it, and figure it out.
Yeah. Do you feel like? Well, okay. This is definitely 2 months in. We're gonna have to have this conversation in like a year, but you're gonna learn very quickly because we were HVAC first and then added plumbing. But you're gonna learn very, very quickly that HVAC is the most hormonal industry.
Yes.
As far as business, Like, it doesn't matter the season, or it does matter the season, or like, this is our biggest season right now, cooling season, and Oklahoma will not quit raining. And that's everywhere right now across the nation. I was talking to one of our vendors, and they're like, that vendor specifically is only up 1% for the year, and nationwide, that vendor. And they're seeing it's just kind of crazy, but it's so hormonal, but plumbing is a little more controllable.
Sometimes I think it kind of depends what market you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Like for us, people don't know anything about HVAC, so like they don't complain. They just want their AC working, and they just want it now. But like with plumbing, people are always like, I have a brother's cousin once removed who did an apprenticeship for like 2 weeks, and he swears that a water heater should only cost $900.
Right.
Like,
yeah, like in 1999.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, like, or like, why are you charging that much? It can't be that much, but they don't understand the business side of things.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go and they complain about it, and they go on the blog shops, and they, like stuff like that. So it kind of depends, and it depends on the season and everything like that. But
you'll find the more you get into heating and air, it's going to be the same thing.
It's always
you just haven't found that yet.
People get mad about everything because they don't care. They just want it fixed, but they think it should be free.
Yeah. It's so funny, those conversations of like the things that, I don't know, I can get myself down a rabbit hole of like the same people who are like, I think that people need to pay people more money, are the same people complaining about cost. And I'm like, what? That comes with something like that you can't just pay more wages and higher wages without revenue.
Exactly. And you can't be around 10 years from now if you're not charging for it now. Like, so if you want your warranty and you want us to answer our phone, we have to charge for it now.
Yep.
And I would love to do stuff for free and be a profitable company and come out and service you or whatever. But at the end of the day, I have a lot of people's kids like on my heart, that are for me. And I have to make sure that those kids are fed every single day.
Yep. Amen.
So,
amen. There's like a trauma dump sometimes. We're like, on today's episode of Power Women of the Trades, we're going to dump our trauma real quick because it's all the same. It's universal. Anytime that I hear someone or I've interviewed someone or talked to them in person and they're like, we don't have these issues. I'm like, you're Delulu. I love you. And I'm glad that you have found that Delulu spot in your life, but it does exist. Yep. And I think for me right now as a leader, I can tell you that the more often that I'm having these conversations, like with our team of like, listen, this is normal. This is not chaos. We are not chaos. This is people. We are dealing with people. We're in people's homes, the most vulnerable place in their lives. And the experiences that we get, like, it's just the life. It's just the biz we're in, guys. And everyone experiences.
We're talking about customer service, this customer service piece of it too. We were just talking about that this morning.
Yeah, you've got to have it
about how we really need to focus on that because.
Heather's pausing. This is like anyone who like follows our episodes lately. They're just like know that Heather's microphone for some reason does not love her in Oregon. But if we talk to her, we do talk to her every single day on Teams, and she has no issues except for when we record podcasts. So it's technology, but it's life. It's technology, right? So actually, tell us about, you do a lot of things with AI. So tell us about
that. So I just kind of sort of jumped into it. Like, so my background is in elementary education.
Oh, cool.
I went to school to be a teacher, and I specialized in upper elementary. And I don't know, I think Sarah was the one that was like, hey, Ashley, look at this. And then it kind of became like my kryptonite. And I use it for everything.
Yeah.
Like I have it analyze and like analyze my marketing plan for the year. How can I be more profitable and how can I maximize leads? And here is a copy of my mailers that are going out. What's wrong with it? Tell me how I can make this more efficient and to streamline my process and to convert sales. People are not purchasing, they're complaining about finances. How can I market to people to sit there and optimize our market? And the fact that people have lost faith in what are like in our economy right now.
Right. I love that. There's like so many things. So do you just use ChatGPT or do you use any of the other services?
I mainly use ChatGPT. I've started like going into the other stuff, but that will probably have to wait until my kids are back in school.
Yeah, fair. I know you do some things with do you do things with video? And
I've done photos. I'm not great at it though. Like Sarah pops up this stuff and she like will text me these pictures that she did while she was on an airplane. And I get like a dog peeing and it's on the unit and it's like random place. Like I'm not great. I got to get better at my commands and like my prompts and stuff, but I'm messing with it. I just think I love the idea of being able to create imaging out of it, but I also think that consumers are going to get like oversaturated with AI imaging, and that it takes away the feel of what you're wanting in the branding for your company.
I 100% agree with that because right now, have you noticed in this time frame, again, I'm not sure when this episode will air, but right now the Camp Mystic thing has happened in all of the flooding. Have you noticed, and on y'all's Facebook pages, all of the fake AI posts of, Blake Shelton and so just donated $50 million and he's in a boat down on the river and he's not. That's AI. It's fake. And what is alarming to me is are the people who I'm friends with on social media who are liking those pages and sharing those pages in those posts, believing that it's real. And, especially some of the older people that I'm friends with, I've personally messaged and been like, hey, love you. I want you to know from no one else. If it's no one else, I want to make sure I'm telling you that what you're sharing is fake. And if you're okay with it, that's fine. But it is fake, and they had no freaking clue.
Yeah.
And that's scary. So I totally agree with you of like that imagery that's like, it's going to get to the point of what's real. And how are we going to get past that, Yeah.
So I'm very careful and mindful about like the imaging, like the images that I'm portraying of my company, because you spend years developing this brand that you're growing and the feel that you want in your community. And it might be easy just to sit there and like do a paragraph prompt out and to create an image. But like, is that what you want portrayed for your company like 5 years from now? Like, so there's kind of a balance between it, like where it's very useful, it's beneficial, it helps a lot, but like also you can't just have AI doing everything for you.
Right. Have you seen some of the studies that said, I think Josh Crouch posted it. Man, I'll have to go back because I'm huh?
Oh, sorry.
That it said something about like the people that are using AI for so much can basically not think anymore. Like their brains are jacked up. And here's the deal. I'm going to have to find. What'd you say?
They lose creativity and they're not really actually enriching their own minds. They're just utilizing the AI, which I mean, I love AI and I love that we can use it as a tool, but I think we don't want to have it make our businesses disingenuous.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed like through the years and through the past 5 years of, adding AI, adding things in my own personal life, I have gotten to the point that I can't read a long like paragraph anymore, word for word. I skip way more words than I used to on skimming. I can't complete the task and my brain's already moving. And I've been trying to do some like brain games to kind of like retrain my brain to slow down, because sometimes I can't finish my thought because my brain has already moved too fast. And I think that AI and what social media, and there's a lot of things that's caused that. But when AI can spit out something and it's like this big, I can't read it. And then I can tell you when like certain people on social media in our areas post things and it's totally AI written, and that's fine. And then I can't read it. I just did that to someone the other day and I was like, I had to have AI shorten this for me. You saw it, right?
I felt that so deep to my core.
Yeah, I was like, I had to have AI shorten this to me. And then someone commented and was like, I need to have your summary shortened for me. And I'm like, accurate. So then that makes me think of like on our own like socials and things, like how much is too much?
Yeah. I know for me that if I catch something that's AI generated, used as a social media post, I won't waste my time 95% of the time to even read it because I just don't think it's authentic.
Yeah. And if you have overuse of emojis, I'm done.
Legit.
Yeah.
Oh, please. Yeah.
The overuse of emojis, I'm like, you got one emoji for me. And then if there's more emojis, it was AI created, especially the green arrows. Boop, boop, boop. I'm like, done. But, and it's probably good information. It's just like, I know what it is, what's trying, and I use this every day and I love it. Our daughter has been sick or was sick and in the hospital a couple months ago. And I uploaded all of her results and she's had some things since then. And I'm constantly concerned if she's got some like other things happening. So I use chat to track her symptoms, and it keeps me from going too far down a rabbit hole that's incorrect, and it'll rein me back in, right? And I'm really careful. I use the paid version. I don't upload things that would like personally identify her, like her date of birth, social or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But there's some great things for it, right? But listen to us talk about this right now. What the heck do you think our consumers are doing that are also AI trained, and they're not reading what you're posting?
No. And it's like I get an email, for instance, okay? So I don't know if your email's like mine, where I have like 500 plus unread emails sometimes because it just
9 million. Yeah.
comes in.
Yeah.
And I can tell by the header, like I can tell instantly if it's AI generated, and I will not waste my time because my time is precious. So I'm not going to sit there and waste my time on something that you just had like technology just read it and
Completely do. And this is us talking about this as people who use it daily.
yeah.
But you have to utilize it as a source and then take out the AI, right? Like use it as a resource, but take out the AI. I strongly recommend zerogpt.com, or there's probably other things like that. And you can take the entire body and post it and ask it to tell you how much of it's AI written. And listen, sometimes I do that out of principle, especially someone who's trying to argue with me. And I'm like, you literally just sent me an AI response, or on the other hand, sometimes I intentionally will send an AI response from me where I want them to know it was an AI response because that's how little I care. Because it's like, but I mean, just the raw and the real, like utilize AI for some of the great pieces that it can do for you. Let it know. Like yesterday, listen, I asked, okay, I got to tell you guys this. Let me pull up my phone. Go in and ask if you haven't done this for yourself, because I use AI, a ChatGPT every day. So it knows a lot about me, right? And I asked, with the data you have collected about me, tell me who I am at my core. Have you done this? So listen, this was incredible. It made me cry. But then I said, using that, build biblical affirmations based on those things that it told me. And like these biblical affirmations, like I'm a builder of people, not just projects. And my affirmation is, I am called to build others with my words, my work, and my witness. And every day I pour into others because God poured into me first. So encourage each other and build each other up just as you are already doing. 1 Thessalonians 5:11. And that gave me 10 of these. And I was like, ugh, like it gave me goosebumps. And I was like, I needed that in that moment. It really was helpful to me. And I was really thankful that my chat could do that for me. And I have these out, I am empowered to equip others. I am a servant leader. I am a mama on a mission. Like, these are incredible, right?
Yeah.
I love that. But I also have to really truly started recognizing the things that I can take from it. That's okay. And not letting myself get too AI. Like, I'm going to become a robot.
Yeah. Well, and just making sure that you are expressing your own personal opinion and not expressing what something was created, because there's no matter what prompt you give AI, it has a feel, because it removes all emotions from it. I have it a lot of the times when I'm responding to a customer or an employee or something like that. I'll be like, okay, remove all my emotion and make this neutral, because that's something that I know I struggle with, that I can get either heated or and so I'm mindful of that. But when you're sending that
and there's no emotion, sometimes you remove the negative emotion, but leave some, I've been doing some annual reviews, and we use Paylocity, and it has a great annual review process in there. And I was going through there, and everything has it'll generate, analyze the emotion. And basically I was like, this was really impactful, because my words were fine, but could they have been too direct or too it was analyze the sentiment, right? And I know that that's appreciated. I appreciated it calling out what but one of them was basically you're being too nice, and I was like, okay, shoot. But there's some great benefits for in that, for sure.
Yeah. And it just helps you kind of stay. But there's also just that line where people, your employees and people, need to know that you're human. And I know for me personally that I'm a very black and white person. And I'm very blunt.
Yeah.
So I'm very aware of that.
Heather and I cannot relate at all.
No, never. And I mean, I made a CSR try last week. And I wasn't even being mean or anything. I was like, did I do something wrong? But I just am aware. So I know that sometimes I get straight to the point when I send things. And so I'll have it read over it just to make sure I'm not going to make someone cry again. Yeah. But I mean, it happens.
Oh my God. I do that all the time. I think dealing with employees and trying to, when you're a direct black and white person or very direct, I know I'm that way. And I really don't want to hurt people's feelings, but I need to get my point across. So I will put it through ChatGPT just to soften it up a little bit, or just to basically review what I said before I say it, because you can't unsay it. And the last thing we want to do is to, give our employees a misconception of what we're trying to get across and deal with.
Yeah, it's like when you read a text message, when people overanalyze and overthink into text messaging, and I'm like, dude, it's really not that deep. I just am sending you a quick message. And I don't know, Cassie, if you're like this with your teenagers, but my teenager will be like, why are you mad at me? Why are you yelling? And I was like, I wasn't yelling. I was just sending you a text message.
Yes. And I'm like, what? It's like, why are you being so mean to me right now? I'm like, what are you? Yeah, totally.
You're like, I'm just really, really busy, and I'm trying to hurry up and write a text message so I get my point across really fast. And I just took a second to think about you, but I wasn't yelling. I just was asking you to unload the dishwasher.
Yeah. Yeah. No, 100%. 100%. Yeah. That's funny. So what else is going on in the life of Iron Mountain?
We're just, grinding. We're just adding HVAC and trying to figure that out. The market has been a little rough this year. And so we're just chugging. You just grind.
The biggest hurdle with, I know that you're really newly into HVAC, but what has been the biggest hurdle that you've come across so far?
Employees. employees, like 100 freaking %. I had to fire 2 guys last month.
I said it's like we say this all the time. Actually, you know what the 2 biggest hurdles are? Employees and customers. But you have to have both. But literally, so the actual real answer is people.
Yeah. Dealing with human emotions. You're dealing with, I'm in a very interesting market. And trying to figure out what works for my market, because what works for my market does not work from like 90% of everyone else's, and what works in Cassie's market like will not work here. Like I'm in a very religious community that is very frugal, and sometimes it can be difficult. And employees, I mean, we all have the same problems with employees. Like I had one guy, he hadn't even worked for us for very long. He was just an installer. And I thought his skill set would be better than what it was. And it wasn't. And he was kind of toxic. Actually, he was very toxic. And I let him go within 3 weeks, like, because he just wasn't fit for our team. And you just got to do it. Another guy, gave his notice, and then he got hurt on the job, his 2 weeks notice, and he tested positive for drugs, and we have a 0 drug policy, and I had to let him go. And it just is the daily grind of owning a business. Like you have to make some of those, you have to be able to deal with that kind of stuff. It's not personal, it's just business. I don't hate you, I just have to run my company.
Do you? Today we had a guy that quit, and let me tell you why. He didn't know that he's an HVAC installer, and he did not know that we would install ductwork.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
really?
Literally. And I was like, what? And he was like, I just want to do change outs. And I'm like,
okay.
You know that ductwork connects to the change out, and sometimes we have to add returns, and sometimes we have to add another run, or we have to do whatever. And it was like, how in the world do we, I'm trying to reflect back, because I'm thinking about our HR manager who did the interview, who had the conversations and did all the things. He did nothing wrong. I'm thinking about his experience. He came from a company that did ductwork.
Yeah.
What in the absolute world are we talking about right now? What do you mean that wasn't? And so it's like how there was literally, I truly believe no way that we could have prevented that being a thing. But it's like, what do you mean you didn't know, like, we would do ductwork? And so I think that like recognizing that people's expectations and realistic, like what they want is never, sometimes you're never going to get it. Sometimes never.
And oh my gosh. That's really funny.
Right.
I mean, and honestly, as a business owner, you're always the bad person.
It's just employees in general. Like the situation that we had this morning with the employee that didn't realize that he was going to have to do ductwork. I mean, it's literally part of the job. So trying to get that out of somebody in an interview, they're not going to say, I don't want to do ductwork, but you clearly know you're going to.
Right.
And then you start working, you have to do ductwork, and then you quit.
Yeah. That's weird. I don't know. I think that it's just people and their expectations of life are changing so rapidly. And that's all of us. We're all doing that. This world is like progressing so quickly. It's kind of scary sometimes how quickly it's progressing and what's happening. And I think a lot of times it reminds me to check myself on my surroundings, right? But like life is moving quickly, and I don't know. It's funny when you think about that same person who said, I didn't know I was going to have to do ductwork. I'm like, do you realize if you're an HVAC installer and that's your like that's what you're trained to do, and you don't want to do ductwork, do you realize how pigeonholed you've made yourself? Like how you have, and then how much value you've diminished into the trade that you're passionate about, and how quickly it's gonna, like, I always say, like, AI is not gonna come in and install the ductwork. Well, they might, a robot might. Shoot, I don't know, right? Like that's crazy. It's crazy. It's wild out
Yeah.
there. And I hope people listening too, like, we love our team. Our team is amazing. And everybody has a great, you like, Ashley, I know you have a great team, but people are just still always going to be people.
Yeah. And I think it's also important for employees to recognize that we're just human too.
Mhm.
Like, we're just trying to figure it out. We just happen to be the people that decided to take that step and to do something that is extremely difficult and to be comfortable with being uncomfortable
Mhm.
and to take that upon us. But at the end of the day, like, we're just human. Like, we're just parents trying to figure out how to raise our children and manage a business and to serve our community, the communities that we love and that we want to grow and nurture, and the employees that we love and we want to recognize them on their birthdays, and we want their kids to be happy and all this, stuff. We want them, but we're still just a person living our first and only life that we've ever lived without the experience before.
Yeah, that's so true. Like, this is our first time living too, and we're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't think that we're always given the same grace that everyone else wants. The grace is really like, it's like in that moment, it's really reserved for them only. I want you to give me the grace and give me the, why didn't you do that? And why didn't you let me have another chance? Or why didn't you do this? And it's like, okay, but the second that I misstep, or the second that we misstep, the grace isn't reciprocated.
Yeah.
And so, but I think that sometimes that can change with conversation. And I've been really transparent. Yesterday, I had a meeting with a team. I'm not going to say the team. And I started the meeting because I had some people that were just kind of being like tough. And I started the meeting with, listen, if you want to make a lot of money, you can't suck. Okay. And they all just looked at me, and there was a few that I pissed off, I'm sure. But by the end of yesterday, in the moment of the meeting, I was like, this is not my proudest moment, probably. By the end of yesterday, I feel like I probably had the most impactful meeting of my career yesterday morning. I had 2 of those people in that room come and thank me for that meeting because they felt as if they understood more now, and they were like, I kind of needed to be checked, and I've been able to think about that. I had one message me and was like, I needed to give you some space because I know you were pissed, and I was, but he was like, but I am super thankful for that, and at the end of the day, I'm sitting like, maybe I've been too compassionate. Maybe I went too far the other side. We always talk about people wanting structure, and they do, but they also want discipline. And I don't mean discipline as far as like getting in trouble, but just like discipline. Like, this is the structure. This is the way we're going to do it. This is how it's going to be held, and we're not going to waver. And then when they try, and we come back and we're like, no, because that's what that meeting was really about. It was like, hey, thank you for like calling our bluff and showing that you're not going to waver on that. Yeah. It was so crazy to me. Like, have you ever had a meeting like that where you're just like, I really screwed that one up, and then it turns out to be like this pretty impactful thing? I don't know. Wow.
I think all the time, and I think sometimes it's hard. I don't know if I know I'm not the only one that has struggled with this, but like taking control over situations, like, and being that leader that I need to be, because I'm worried sometimes about coming off too strong, like, or different things like that. And you get like that imposter syndrome kind of happens. And sometimes when I just let all that go is when the moments that need to happen. Like,
that's too, like, I have changed a lot as a leader in the last 5 years, and I'm proud of all of the changes that I have made. But I have recognized that when I have watered myself down too much, and whenever I bring back some of the authority that lives in me, that I make a more more of an impact, right? And so because, it's like we're scared to say this or that, or am I wrong here? Or am I going to get burned down for this? Or like, I don't want to be horrible or whatever. And then we water ourselves down, and then it's too much. You water down too much, and they want that structure back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then people just walk all over you when you water yourself down too. Like technicians, employees, people around you will walk all over you. But it's kind of learning to own yourself, like figuring out who you are. And it doesn't come like overnight. It doesn't happen. It takes years of constant like self-development and leadership training to like own that part of you. And I think it's because I turned 39 a couple months ago, and I was like, you know what? I just don't care anymore. Like, I don't care. Someone can sit there and say something bad about me. I just don't care, because my family and my children and my husband, and they know who I am at my core. And so I just don't care. Like, life's too short to care about other things, but also like being willing to like stand up and shine and like just own it, like be that presence, because being a strong, independent female is not a bad thing. In fact, it's wonderful. And I've been teaching my daughters this, like, you saw on my Facebook, my daughter got in a car accident, and she immediately, someone came up to her and was like, you ran that red light and you were going really fast. And my daughter swore 100% it was green. And she goes, I did not run that red light. Don't tell me what I did and did not do. Yeah. My daughter's 16, and I think we need to all take that kind of like step in our lives and be like, you know what, people, if they tell you what to do, you're giving them the authority to control you. Yeah. Like, and no one should own that authority. Like, my husband doesn't even tell me what to do. And we've been married for almost 19 years.
Right. Yeah.
We're a partnership. We're equal. Like, but like, he doesn't.
Yeah.
I might.
It's good for her to advocate for herself. And if she was wrong, she was wrong. But if she knew she wasn't wrong,
she was wrong.
She was wrong, right? But at least she knew in that moment I needed to say, like, don't tell me, hang on, like right.
I was like, yes, queen, like, own that. And when I got the video footage, she did run the red light, but she had swore that it was green. And I was like, own your convictions, like, own who you are, and don't let people change you, even though you're 16 years old. Like, and I was so proud of her for standing up for herself to an adult. Like,
I'm so proud. Yeah, for sure. Well, cool. We could talk for days, I'm sure, about all the things, but it's been great catching up with you and learning more about Iron Mountain and yourself and AI. And like I said, I hope that anyone listening, sorry for the trauma dump, but I think that it's important. Oscar's actually out to lunch with someone right now who is another owner in our area. And he's just like, it's rough right now. And can you go to lunch, but like today? And do that. Like, be that person for someone. Go to lunch, have the conversation, have the coffee, get on Zoom, and be there for each other. Because especially with someone who does the same business as you, or the same, you don't have to be the same owner or owners or whatever, the same role, but that gets it. Because often in our personal lives, like for me specifically, I have a lot of industry friends, but they're not local. And so all my local people don't get it.
Yep.
And so, and they're like, well, in my business, right. And that's fine. And like, in my business, I can shut it off. And I'm like, that's cool. And like, it doesn't work that way. Right. And so find yourself someone that you can like vent to. That's really important.
Yeah. And the female group, like the female community and the trades, is so amazing. There's so many wonderful women that are just willing to help you if you just ask. Like, you just have to be humble enough to ask, and not
don't be too proud.
Yeah, like, just ask us. But like, there's a couple people I text all the time, and I'm like, did I handle this right? Or is there a better way I could have done this? Or what do you think? Because it's so nice to have another perspective of somebody that's not in your market. Because I don't know how it is in your market, but everyone is too busy fighting and acting like high school girls and trying to like act like there's not enough work for everybody else and trying to do each other their part. Like, why? Like, we're all in this freaking together, yo.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. Amen. We got it for sure.
yeah.
Definitely. You're not alone, people. You're not doing it. If you think you're going nuts, you are, and it's fine. It's gonna this too shall pass.
Right.
Well, Ashley, it was so nice to catch up with you. Thanks for being on the show. I hope we can meet in person sometime, and we'll definitely keep following you and give us all those AI tips when you can.
I'll try.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
This has been Power Women of the Trades. Like what you hear so far? Leave us a review in Apple and make sure to listen to our other episodes wherever you enjoy listening to your podcasts. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.